Hello, Narnach here. Welcome back to Path of Exile. This episode I'll be switching from a life plus energy shield setup to a chaos innoculation setup that makes me immune to chaos damage but lowers my maximum life to 1 point. So I almost got started on this without recording. So I did refund one whole skill point over here just to free up one skill that we need, and it's 8% increased elemental damage. We have a lot of increased elemental damage, so in the bigger scheme of things it's not really all that much. And the 2 skill points I had, I assigned them over here, and the reason is energy from within. It's a unique cobalt jewel, gives you +10 to increase maximum energy shield. But the important part is that all the increases and reductions to life within its radius are transformed to apply to energy shield. And this one is very adjacent to melding, which increases life and energy shield. If you put it up, then all the nodes within that boost life will instead boost energy shield. So these now boost energy shield instead of life. And that's the first bit. We reduce our life by a little bit and we gain some energy shield in return. And now we can focus on the passive tree. I completed all the questies in the vetted pool on all difficulties. I gained some refund points and I spent a couple of these lovely orbs of regret to get a couple more refund points. And let's get started. So chaos innoculation is our goal, and infused shield behind it is also going to be very nice. Once we have that all set up, my next goal is going to be Essence Surge. We don't have enough points to get to Essence Surge now, but the next 3 levels we will be going for this. So let's start refunding. So we refund some life bonuses over here. Boom. We lose 200 life. I had already assigned 1 skill point over here, so the next are going to go over here. That way, from a starter, via here, via out of there, we get to a natural calm and all the good stuff over here. As well as via the bottom, we go over here. So that means that the next point, we can apply it. So we're over 5,000 now. Next one is we can unassign these nodes, these 4. Okay, so far so good. CI. And we need 1 more point, and I was gonna get it from over here. Just over 5,000. Then we refund a single passive. Or, now we're just gonna sacrifice a little bit of crit chance temporarily. And then we grab Infuse Shield. That gets us to 6,000 energy shield. Nice bit is that chaos, we have 100% chaos resistance. We are now immune to chaos. So those beyond bosses that deal chaos damage, don't care. Those snakes that spit chaos at you, don't care. Maps with poison on them, don't care. Also means that we no longer have a way to regenerate our life, which means our life flasks can go out of the window. Amethyst Flask and Poison Removal can go out of the window. And then this is all that's left. I've already prepared a new setup. So Quicksilver with Freeze and Chill Removal. That means we can take the Eternal Flask out and we can put this one in, which is going to be our Curse Removal. Then we have a Bleeding Removal. I just picked a Sapphire Flask. It might also double dip a little bit for damage reflection mitigation. And finally a Jade Flask, which is going to boost our evasion rating by quite a bit. The 68% is a low roll, it can roll up to 100, but this is pretty nice. So currently we have 4,500 with 34% chance to evade. If we drink our Jade Flask, we're going to go up to 14,000 with over 55% chance to evade, which is 20% extra. On top of a 5% chance to dodge everything, 22% chance to block, and we have this evasion shield. And we still have all our auras up, if I remember correctly. Since I don't think anything changed in there. Yep. So that's good. So we put our old flasks back to where they were. Just keep them in here for temporary storage. So we are currently still using 2 amethyst rings. The interesting bit is that they give us energy shield and elemental resistances. The life is wasted and there is mana regen on here. The mana regen, the energy shield and the resistances are enough reasons to actually keep these, even though the rest of the mods are useless. Same for this one, it's a massive amount of mana regen. The energy shield is really good and there are some resists on here. And the intelligence, don't forget intelligence. Every point in intelligence is more mana and more energy shield. So everything chaos we should now be able to ignore. And eventually we are gonna cycle out all our gear. These amethyst rings, if we get some interesting moonstone rings, that would be useful. You got the built-in energy shield, that would be nice. Or some built-in resistance rings, that would be nice. Currently we are capped, so it's good enough. Helmet has some chaos resist on here, we don't really care about that either. So I would suggest let's do a map. In a previous run I actually got a Vaults of Atziri. Don't think it's wise to start with that, but it is somewhere in the pipeline. I think this is one I should research, since it's supposed to be a very difficult map to run. So let's grab something. Let's run an arena. I don't think I've done it yet for this series, so let's do something useful with it. So we chisel it, we elk it. Monsters crit harder, they crit more often, they have more damage, they have fire resistance and they deal extra lightning damage. So lightning damage and crits, that's gonna be interesting. But nothing chaos related, so that's a pity. This is a difficult map. If you roll the wrong mobs, it can be a difficult map. So let's have a look at it. Enlightened Hideout, it goes 2 ways, I remember, and usually this is a dead end. So, upside, I only have to pay attention to my energy shield. And chaos damage doesn't do anything to me. Downside, I no longer have a buffer for when my energy shield runs out. So I definitely have to keep an eye out for that. And my Sorrow of the Divine is effectively a healing potion, and it's my only healing potion. I think I should try to use my more dodgy things more often, and my mana flask is also my curse removal now, so that's useful to remember. Upside is well, I should curse. I should remember to curse. But because we freeze everything, we have a lot of safety built into our build from that. Ooh, there's a yellow in there, and they killed my golem. Also, let's use our Army of the Undead. You, Soul Eater. Let's hex you, kill you. There, die. Good job. A thicket map, that's tier 2. But it is nice that if there would be snakes or something nasty like that, then we really don't care. Oh, drop bears. Didn't even have a tree to hang off of, and it did still drop on my head. And my golem is really doing a good job tanking, or it's doing a lousy job tanking. It depends a little bit on how you judge success for those things. So currently the energy shield, it recharges 20. It starts recharging 20% faster. Normally it takes 2 seconds, so it takes 1.6 seconds to recharge now. If I get the, what was it called, the Essence Surge, then it's gonna go from 20% to 35% faster. So that would be that it will start within 1.3 seconds if I do my math correctly. And it might even be worth researching specific uniques that boost specifically the recharge speed and my overall energy shield, because it's now so crucial. Also means that my energy shield, my gear upgrades are gonna be even more powerful now than they already were. Since every point of energy shield that I get is now, I gain 4 points for it basically, rather than just 1. Okay. I have to say, so far, so good. And I used to have about 2000 energy shield and about 5000 5000 energy shield and 2000 life, or 4500 and 2500, but in total it was about 7000 life. I actually have the specific number, 6725. So obviously we now lost a little bit. We lost about 700 effective health. But we gain Chaos Immunity. And I have to admit, Chaos damage was becoming the most annoying type of damage that I could take. Just because it attacked my 2000 sized life pool. It was pretty difficult to do it. So with Chaos Innoculation, your total life pool gets a bit smaller, but you no longer have to deal with Chaos, and that by itself is worth a lot. And from here on with gear, we can just improve it and it should be good. Well, so far, so good. I'm not gonna draw any very wide conclusions yet, but first impression is that Chaos Innoculation is nice to work with. Especially if you got a very strongly controlling build like this, since you're not taking a lot of damage anyway. And if you're taking damage, then you really should get the heck out of there. Okay, we came in here. Mostly cleared this. So the interesting bit, these dogs, if you don't spawn them, they don't count towards the total here. Wait, was there something? Yes. A couple more spawns. Once they have spawned, they do count towards the total, so once you trigger them, you want to kill them. But the bosses in the arena are interesting. They're the same bosses as you encounter in the Resso arena. So it's not the Resso himself, but it's the lieutenants that are guarding his place, so to say. They are a tough bunch of buggers, just like on just regular Merciless. They're tough. Especially if you get one of them to be ghost possessed, for example, and if you're running it on a beyond enchanted version of the map, things gets interesting rather quickly. Okay, so my energy shield is now down to 2500, which means I was less than half of my life. So it was very wise to make a little bit of a tactical retreat. And then just charge in again. Range guys like these are okay enough to deal with. They don't really follow you, so if you kite, you have enough time to recharge. I mean, you only need a little bit of time, 1.6 seconds currently, to be out of combat before your energy shield starts recharging. And it recharges at nearly 2000 points per second. So within 3 seconds you are fully charged up. Normally I think it's 6, but because of all the bonuses on the skill tree, I managed to cut it in half. And that's only gonna go up even more, because there's another 60% that you get from here. This is a nice map to just do a full clear on, because you have only one room at a time. There's no branching, the rooms are completely isolated from each other. So this is, yeah, if you really like clearing maps, this will satisfy your obsessive behavior, so to say. Okay, hello there. Okay. And there's a couple more doggies. Maybe I should actually shoot at the doggies. I think that might help. General Brigandine. So many armor stands around the edges, which I imagine arenas in Roman Empire might have had as well. To make things interesting, just different weapons that the gladiators could pick up if they lost their own weapon for some reason, or just to make things interesting in general. Okay. I think we're getting close towards the final room. This isn't the largest of maps usually. It's only a limited amount of rooms. But it's gonna be a good test of skill. Also, I'm gonna put up a panic portal here just to, or more of a just in case backup portal. Oh no, there's another room after this. I mean, if the bosses are here, usually you know, then they'll be there just waiting. Okay, well, the Golem is doing a pretty good job of tanking them. Ooh, someone hurt me for a bit. I have to say, it does help that it's now more or less very, very bright, light blue, whitish. And if you get hit for a lot of life, it turns red. So a bright spot suddenly turns dark. And from the corner of your eye, that's just enough to catch a lot of attention. In terms of safety, it might help as well. Since with life it usually just goes transparent, it's less, it catches less attention than what happens here, I think. Okay, let's keep summoning that golem. Okay, let's just explode all the doggies. Well, it's not pretty nice sounding, but sure. Explode all the doggies nonetheless. So I try to just drink every once in a while from the jade flask. Now if I'm completely surrounded like this, well, it's not really needed because I'm surrounded by ice statues. Oh, you are a nullifier. You're dead, whatever nullifier does. From context, nullifier really doesn't make any sense, and for the sake of curiosity, I really should look it up on the wiki sometime. Could be something like an energy burner, Something that negates energy shield or something creative like that. Okay. And we put about portal. I'm gonna just scatter some portals around. Because I know this is gonna be a tough fight, and I know this is I'm in a new situation. Okay. Final couple of statues, and then we get a boss fight. Portal here. And you know what? Let's amp up the tension a little bit. Let's empty our pockets first. And now we go in. Let's go. Hello, boss. So I believe some of these guys might actually be dealing chaos damage, which now means I can ignore them. At least that aspect of their damage. Let's see. Oh. Let's actually double check if that is indeed the case. They resist chaos. They just resist chaos. Okay, let's resummon the golem. Let's start ignoring or annoying the heck out of them, and then refresh them. Oh. Well, there is a lot of chaos about, and that's not doing anything. Let's summon our army. Deal with these guys. There's a damage over time component here, but that's probably some bleeding. Yeah, there's stop burning. Also works. Ooh, Twilight Blades. Okay, so this is now a statue. Ooh, Deerskin Boots. That's a Blood Dance, isn't it? No, Deerstalker. Prismatic Eclipse. Hey, that's the second one. And this is one you want to dual wield because they give you 8% additional block chance per blade. So if you have two, you get 16% from the blades plus 15 as a base. Means you get 31% chance to block. And they're pretty cool with the sockets that they boost different aspects of themselves. And there's 3 monsters remaining. Well, now there's 8, 9 because of course they got summoned. But that was the exciting part of this map, the boss fight. So normally that hunter, it summons clouds of poison. If you're a high energy shield, low-ish life character, it will attack the element or the damage type that you are the weakest against. And it will just burn straight through you, especially if the others are attacking you from different angles as well. It's easy to overlook. A lot of stuff that dropped. Well, the other things will drop. But in conclusion, Chaos Innoculation, pretty darn awesome. We might have lost a little bit of total of our health pool, but we gained Chaos Immunity. And because that was the element I was weakest to, definitely helped out. It does mean that you no longer have insta-heals available to you. But the flip side is that you still there's still the Sorrow of the Divine, which is still super good as a healing potion. Now, if you're playing a full CI build, planning it with Zealot's Oath in mind is probably a very useful way to go. Because then, if you grab Zealot's Oath, if you grab Growth Decay and the life regen nodes around it, if you grab the quick recovery down here, in combination with all the other energy shield nodes that I've already got, then you have a pretty strong build that actually regenerates over a life pool of 6000 plus with 4 or 5% per second. I mean, there's 2% here, there's another 0.8 over there. Probably want to grab Shaper plus the 1.2% here. That gets you to 6% of your life, of your energy shield regenerated per second, on top of the faster recharging you already get. That's yeah, it definitely has potential, but for this build, getting Zealot's Oath is 1, 2, 3, 4, only 5 points, but I have no regen. Then you got another 3, that's gonna be 8, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So you need a lot of points in order to get a Zealot's Oath that you can really benefit from. And at this point, well, we need to spend another 3 to get Essence Surge. We spent another 1 to get our spell crits back. At that point, no, that's 4 points down the road. That means we will be level 82. Potentially there's 18 more points remaining to 100. So then you get the choice. Do you want to go for Snowforged and Throatseeker in order to capitalize on crits? There's some small crit bonuses here. We can re-grab this elemental point. So there's plenty of options to explore depending on what you want to do with the build. But for now, I think I'm just gonna leave things as they are. I'm gonna thank you very much for watching. And I'll see you again next time when we play another map with Chaos Innoculation up. Bye bye.